For the past year or so, I've kind of just been existing in the background. I've been in this daily grind between work, school, and yeah, of course, some occasional travel, but you know, I've been happy some days and some days I'm sad. But most days, the baseline is contentment. Content while trying to convince myself that this monotony of life is just the way that it is. As I sit here day in and day out, oftentimes from this very chair, and I stare out of the proverbial window, watching others chase their goals with this drive and this unabashed zest for life that once felt familiar. I heard someone say once that failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result. And yeah, that quote has stuck with me since. I think back to my 20s when I was living abroad and traveling and exercising regularly. You know, I was in the zone, like I felt really good. And then I hit my 30s and I just kind of fell off. How did that happen? And the truth is, I do know, but then again, I don't know. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. Life generally is good. I mean, I have good health, plus or minus a few pandemic pounds. I have a loving family. I have a job, which affords me the roof over my head and the privilege to travel, which I'm so grateful for. But like most people, work is probably where you spend the most of your time, and generally it's not very enjoyable. Metaphorically, a lot of us are running around with a busted tail light and gas tank perpetually on E. And it's not always possible to take a moment, to continue with that analogy, pull over and stop for gas. And then before you know it, you're well into your 30s and in this state that you really didn't envision. Physically, mentally, spiritually, life has been slowly deteriorating, and what's worse, you don't even realize it as it's happening. I'm not afraid of getting older. That's not it. What keeps me up at night is the thought of stagnation, not shedding that old skin as I evolve into my older age. I am conscious, obviously. I've known for the past year that I haven't quite felt like myself, and it's taken me up until now to really admit that mentally, the vehicle that is my mind and my body and my spirit is in dire need of a tune-up. Is it possible that I'm having a midlife crisis in my 30s? Or am I just being dramatic? How did I float so far off course from where I wanted to be? So for my quest for answers, I tried to read some books for enlightenment, but mostly I do what most millennials do. I scour the internet, YouTube in particular, and came across a few vloggers who each gave some really great advice. Of course, correction for your life, and that's what I want to impart in this video. The first piece of advice. I have got to get organized. There are no qualifiers for a dream or what a life goal can be. I mean, I have friends and family members who have wanted nothing more in the world than to start a family and to do everything imaginable to make their little human creations dreams come true. I mean, it's really beautiful to watch. And then there's me. My family consists of my husband and my 2 dogs by choice. And although I wouldn't change it or have it any other kind of way, I somehow lost a vision for my life. I've been, at least this past year or so, a bystander and largely allowing life to happen to me. You know, they say with age comes wisdom, but I feel like the older I get, the more lost I feel. The one thing I have discovered, however, is however it is that my life is to be illustrated, I want it to consist of my days spending my time however I wish, and not particularly beholding to a job or a place or even an idea of what I thought my life should be like at the age of 36. But lately I have felt all over the place. What's up, guys? It's a new day, first day of the month. I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I looked yesterday. I actually put myself together somewhat. But as you can see behind me, the calendar is up and I filled her in, and I'm feeling really good about it. So I kind of decided, based on the advice of some of the vloggers that I follow, to lay out my top 3 goals, overarching goals that I want to accomplish or that I want to maintain as part of my daily life. The first one being health and fitness. Secondly, I want to incorporate some type of intellectual development or stimulation at some point throughout my days and throughout the week. And lastly, and probably what I've been lacking the most and what I've been finding really, really hard to make time for, is just to infuse some creativity and some inspiration in my life. This really means a lot to me because this kind of, where I have my job and school, my academia, that can often drain my cup. I feel like when I feel inspired and creative, that helps to refill me and boost me to get me through the next day or the next weeks or months. The way that I kind of look and see inspiration, even though it is a noun, the root of that, to inspire, is a verb. And for me, I kind of look at it as if like bathing, right? Like you can't only bathe once and expect to be perpetually clean. You have to bathe every day, twice a day, to maintain good hygiene. And just my personality, I have to feel inspired and be around things that inspire me constantly so that I can maintain a level of creativity and just, again, boost my coffers when I feel like life is just kind of getting me down. So that's my goal. And I've color blocked them, one for each goal, so that I can set every day 3 little things that help contribute to those overarching goals. So I'm feeling really good about it, and let's see if it works out. Again, these are tips and recommendations that were recommended to me through other YouTubes that I feel inspire me. And I'll share their videos and links down below if you want to watch them. They're awesome content creators. So anyways, I have some things on my to-do list. I have no groceries, so let's go get some. I think back again to my 20s, living abroad, traveling to all these incredible places and seeing this beautiful planet, meeting people, interesting people whose airspace I got to fill. And I think to myself, yeah, wherever I am, I want to be closer to the world. I want to feel it. I want to touch it. I want to experience it. Especially given these last few years of global recessions, of wars, and surviving a pandemic where so many lives, unfortunately, were cut short. That should be a reminder that life is too short to play a background role in the movie of my life. But even as I sit here today, I'm not totally confident in stepping into my own spotlight because, I mean, it's scary. Pushing the age of 40 is still really scary. And lately I've just been doing the bare minimum, just trying to survive. And it hasn't felt great, to say the least. But my takeaway from watching other content creators reminds me of another quote that I heard a long time ago. We make decisions and then we manage those decisions, and you manage them daily. What you want to be tomorrow, you prepare for today. So yeah, if I'm to prepare for tomorrow with everything I have going on and maybe riddled with a little bit of anxiety and depression here and there, I need to get organized. So I spent most of my day yesterday really just pondering, spinning in circles at my desk chair, trying to figure out what are my 3 overarching goals that I wanted to put up on that board, and ways that I could keep myself and hold myself accountable to it. And one of the vloggers that I follow, Aaron on Demand, had a really good idea. You know, we largely look at problems like they're a big wall instead of just working it brick by brick. So that's what the top 3 goals are for each day. They're just my bricks that I will incrementally build into this much larger wall slash goal of mine. And hopefully that would make a very large goal seem more palatable and more attainable. I kind of like this idea, and I'm just gonna run with it and see if it works. Hi guys, back at it. Today I decided to check off 2 things off of my list. One being get some exercise and find some inspiration in nature here in Maryland. It's a beautiful day. I got my doggy Bronx with me. He's ready to go for a hike. So let's do this trail.
There she goes again. She pretends she's happy when she's hanging with him, but inside she cries. Don't know how much longer she could keep up the lies. You know he's gonna break your heart. He's done for
I love this park. Since we moved here, I've been here a few times now, and every time my experience is always that much more enjoyable. This park is called Gill Mill Trail or something like that. I'll link it down below. In any case, it's very family friendly. You'll see family swimming and barbecuing along the river. People will hike. There's tons of trails in the mountain ridges in this area. And then you have beautiful views of the train passage or crossing these wood suspension bridges. It's a really nice environment, a perfect place to get inspired, which is why I came here. And that really got me thinking about what this blogger, that his name's Ali, and I'll link his channel down below because he does provide a lot of really incredible, useful, and inspirational content. But I think one of his videos that impacted me the most and what I've taken the most from it, and I'll link that video down below, is where he gives you tips to optimize your time. You know, we're all really busy. People have families, you have your full-time jobs, but then you have your goals and things that drive you, your passions, and you don't want to let go of those things either. So he proposed 3 tips. Whatever it is that your heart desires, whether the goal be small or large, he says that you should first strategize, secondly execute, and thirdly be consistent. And these are all things, honestly guys, that I desperately need in my life and that I have been lacking and have definitely not been implementing in the way that I should, in a way that'll be effective towards me meeting my goals. And one of the brilliant parts about being in nature is not only does it help you rejuvenate, but also it gives you time to think, time to implement that first tip, which is to strategize, to really plan out how it is or little things that you can do to help execute or get closer to the goals that you want to do in life. And because I've tried this a few times and it wasn't sustainable, I wouldn't recommend making big changes all at once. I would start with small incremental changes, things that you can just gradually implement into your life.
The mayor?
Bikers. Things that you can just gradually implement in your life, and then it just becomes a part of your routine without even noticing. Ali recommends in his vlog thinking of it like how a major corporation operates their business. It's not just like a willy-nilly type of thing. If you think of all of the successful franchises, McDonald's and Starbucks, etc., they each have systems in place, building blocks. There's tens of thousands of stores all around the world, but do you see when you go into one store that anything changes? No. That's because they have a system in place. And that's essentially what he recommends that you do for your life. Whether it be calendaring, scheduling, or just some way to kind of keep you in track and in order. And I know it may seem tedious at first, but honestly, once you start checking things off, there's no better feeling than saying, oh, that's done. You know, having in mind that you have laundry to do, that you have groceries to go get, that you want to spend some time reading. Make time for the things that are important in your life. And with that, sometimes you have to strategize. I think after that long hike, Bronx deserves a pup cup and Mom deserves a iced latte. Bronx, you want a pup cup? You want a pup cup? Can I also get a pup cup?
Of course.
Thank you.
No problem. Anything else?
That'll be all.
All right, that'll be $6.74.
Thank you.
Of course.
There you go, buddy. You deserve it. Oh God. I obviously don't know where I'll end up in this little experiment called life. I mean, none of us do. But I figure if I focus on the first two components, adherence to a strategy, executing my top 3 every day, consistency will just be a natural progression, right? An amalgamation of the two. Strategy, execution, and consistency. Even saying that word, consistency, gives me anxiety. But here we go. Off to the gym. And if all else fails, then just maybe my efforts will lead me to what I believe could be the greatest gift to myself that coincidentally is a byproduct of getting older. And that's self-realization. If I've learned anything from the people who have inspired me, it is that self-realization and caring less about what others are doing and more about how it is that you feel about yourself is the greatest gift that you can give to the world. Because when you shine your light, you signal to others that it is okay for them to shine theirs. I want to dedicate this video to those in my life who continue to inspire me. You know who you are. And to those who I don't know, who have also inspired me, thank you. Thank you for courageously stepping into this very bright light that it is YouTube, so that regular folk like me can feel comfortable stepping into my own. If you've made it to the end of this video, I hope that this message serves as a little lighthouse as you navigate the seas of your own life. I'm not gonna ask for you to subscribe or like or any of that. The only thing I'm gonna ask at a minimum is that you stay safe, you stay inspired, and happy travels. Peace and love to you. Until next time.